Hey guys, today I want to go over some commands that you will need for your LPIC exam, and these commands are important for understanding the configuration of hardware settings of a Linux system. And the commands that we'll go over, they're sys, proc, dev, modprobe, lsmod, lspci, and lsusb. Now some of these commands, they are stored in memory, so they're really a memory type system. And let's just open up the command window and we'll go one by one. Okay, so sys file system, so lh. Okay, this file system is designed to provide a lot of good information about the devices and buses that the kernel of a Linux system is aware. Now this is a memory based file system. It is not stored on a hard drive, so these are all really kind of links, and it's only in the memory, and you can do a lot of things with this file system. For example, say you want to know the block devices like the CD-ROM, the DVDs, if you have any kind of RAID or LVM devices, SATA, anything like that, DVD, you can go to the block, for example ls sys block. So you see that here I have a SDA and SRO, so a CD-ROM and a hard disk. The bus, if you look at the bus over here, that describes is there any bus devices that are attached to your system. If you want to know about the CPUs, there's usually CPUs are inside the bus, so I can do ls lh sys bus and then CPU, and then devices. I have to go to devices, and that should give you the number of cores we have in the system. It looks like I have 4 different cores, and if you see, these are all links, so it's telling me, it's giving me the details of the CPU that I have in the system. Okay, now similar to this sys, proc is another file system that you can use, and I use it very heavily, and that's also memory based. It's not stored on the hard drive, and it's giving you a lot more information than the sys system, right? So let's see what are some of the important ones. So ls proc cmd line. Okay, it's the kernel parameter that were used to boot the system. This one gives you all the information about it. A lot of times what I do ls lh proc CPU info. Actually do a less on that one and see if I have anything. There we go. So in this file system, you actually need to do a list. You can read the file system, so it's going to tell me what kind of processor I have, who is my vendor, CPU family, model, all the details you can think of. You will get it from this file system. Alright, and the other thing that I use pretty often in here, just like CPU info, you can do a mem info, and that's going to give you the details of the RAM. For example, in this one we have almost 16 gigs of RAM, and it's telling you the available memory and everything, how many of them active, all that stuff that you need to know about your RAM. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's look at some more. Let's proc and then devices. It's gonna give you all the devices, everything that is attached to your system. RAID I don't have in my machine. Another useful command would be less than proc, then modules. Let's see if I find anything. Yeah, so this is gonna give you all the modules the kernel modules that are currently loaded into the memory. That's also an important one. The other important one that you should remember is the proc and then partitions. So if you have any partitions available, so this is the partition in my system, so you can also use this command to look at that. So in SDA I have 3 different divisions, and I also have the CD-ROM drive in there. Okay. For the virtual memory information, you can also use proc virtual memory info vmstat. So that's going to give you all the information that you need, and yeah, so that's all about stat. Let's see if you proc. Usually a lot of times this one got a man for this command, so you can look at it to get some more details about it. And I was trying sys and I didn't get any manual entry, at least in my Kali machine. So some places you may find some more information, you can, and I highly ask you to do that. There are dev file systems, and these are specially designed for the device files. -lah. Let's see if I have anything. There we go. So these are all the device files that you can get. Then if you can also do like this and sd star, if you do this, those are the files, and they're either SATA, SCSI, or USB devices. Okay, and here you see that I have the SDA. SDA refers to the first device. Okay, if you had one SDB, that would be the second device. Now if I have any partitions in my device, that will show up with a number, like SDA is the device hard drive, and in that one I have 1, 2, and 3 different partitions, and they're numbered 1, 2, and 5. Okay, so number 1 is really the first partition. Let's see if I have any hard drive. SD there's a solid state, and HD, and I don't have any old hard drives. You can also look at Dave's CD-ROM. Let's see, DEV CD-ROM. That's also going to tell you it's a symlink to the CD-ROM device that you have. Other important command that you can run is to look at the TTY. Okay, TTY, and then you can star, and that's going to tell you all the different terminals. And the device name dev TTY0, if you come up over here, you find it, TTY0, and that is going to refer to the first device, and TTY1 refer to the second device, stuff like that. Now there is another very important command called modprobe. Okay, that you should I missed later. Modprobe. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to provide some options in here. Okay, so modprobe can add and remove modules from the currently running running kernel. Okay, so let's the man modprobe, and it's going to tell you intelligently adds or remove modules from the Linux kernel. So that if you need to do anything like that, you don't do that very often. I don't have to do that very often, but sometimes I'll get some installation where I need to do that manually. So we'll have to do this and understand and run this command with confidence. Okay, you can run, let's see, you can run -c. So this is gonna give you the display of the current modprobe configuration. And if you use a Q, that is to run. So this is actually not taking well, let's do this. Let's R. If you know any particular module that you want to remove, this is the parameter that you need to pass to the modprobe command. And I would recommend that mess with it a little bit more, learn about this command. This is something you probably need for your exam. Now there's another command which is similar to the modprobe, which is called lsmod, and this displays all the kernel modules that are currently loaded. when you're running the system. So this is all the modules that I have. Okay, so a lot of times what I do, I pass this to less so I can read it, what's there, and then just press my space button to go to the end of it. So this is another one, lsmod, very important for you for the LPIC exam. Okay, and in this line, what you see, you have the module name and the size of the module, and this is in bytes. Okay, and it will also tell what are the things that are actually running or using this module. Okay, let's see, lspci is another command that is similar to lsmod, lspci, and that one displays devices that are attached to the PCI bus. Okay, and again, there are so many different lspci parameters that you can pass, and you can read through it over here for verbose and all of that stuff. But kind of remember that lspci is another command that you can use to understand devices that are attached to the PCI bus. Let's see, lsusb, yeah, so this is another similar command. Okay, so let's see, lsusb. Again, lsusb, these commands, they don't need any parameters, you don't need to pass any parameters. So this is lsusb, displays all devices that are connected to the PCI bus. Okay, I think that's pretty much all the commands you probably need to know. Now mess with these commands some more, go through their man pages and learn. So I would say, use proc a lot, and I use it in my daily work a lot, just to get the mem info, CPU info, virtual VM stat, that kind of stuff. If you need to add new modules, get rid of some modules, hit the modprobe command. Make sure you're confident about running this command, and use this module lspci, lsusb, those commands to kind of, quick command to see what you have in your PCI bus and what USB devices are connected, that kind of stuff, and just kind of mess with the different parameters that you can pass, usually like -v's for verbose and that kind of stuff. Just kind of remember those for the exam and be comfortable. All right, so that's all the commands that you need to know for just kind of to understand the configuration of your Linux hardware. So I'll see you in the next video, and we'll go over some other commands that you must know to ace the LPIC exam. Thank you.